Hello, Phil Newton England back with, yes, another Crystal Maze video. Well, if you've looked on my X account, what used to be Twitter, you'll see that I give you a quick heads up of what this next video is going to be about. We're going to be looking at the floor plans for the original 1990s Crystal Maze with Richard O'Brien and Etude Poe, but more in detail at the reboot floor plans from 2017 plus with Richard Ayoade and the American one with Adam Conover. Obviously, it's the same set, so them two have the same floor plans. Now, let's go back to 1990. This is probably one that most viewers and fans of the show will recognise. It is a very rough sort of diagram. Well, it's not very rough, it's quite detailed diagram of the maze itself, and this was seen on every episode in certain series, and all of them. It did vary slightly between ones, and obviously the bigger change being there. So we'll have a quick look. As I said, this is what appeared on the screens. You've got, this is a map basically of the medieval, futuristic, Aztec and industrial, and as I said later on, the ocean zone. And it is technically how the studio set was built. Now, I'm sure you all know the first series of the Crystal Maze was actually filmed at Shepperton Studios, deemed very popular. And then they had to up anchor and move away because they had to make way for a bigger budget of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves film. They wanted the studio, so the Crystal Maze had to be dismantled. The medieval castle had to go to make way for another medieval type of zone for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Thanks, Kevin Costner. So from then on, the second series onwards was filmed at the Aces High aircraft hangar at North Weld. And there it stayed for the remainder of its original run. Now, various changes throughout the years included a small pond at the sort of entrance exit area to the Aztec, an added corridor in futuristic, which ran later down here. And the biggest change of all, as I just said earlier, is a new zone, Ocean, which replaced the industrial zone. So, as I said, this is how you saw it. There were various entrances and exits. They were all interconnecting. So when we saw the contestants go through these ways, that is the way they went. But there were various side doors as well in each zone that you can't really see on here. But the biggest one was under here. As you go up the stairs to cross the Aztec Spike area, that was actually a bridge. You walked under the bridge down this little path here, and that took you to the dome, which was genuinely centered in the middle. My mum used to laugh when a contestant got locked in and Richard already said, right, quick, run back through the zones and go and get that locked in contestant. My mum used to laugh. They don't do that, that's just made up, they'll just go out of shot. With the can do, but no, they were genuinely all linked up. My mum didn't believe that until I sort of explained all this to her. Anyway, so that is the one that was seen on the screens. We're going to take a look now at one of the schematic layouts of the set as designed by James Dillon. Obviously, all copyright of these images do belong to James Dillon, the set designer. They're not mine. And Chatsworth TV, RDF Television, Fizz, and everybody. It's their copyright, so I'm not taking any credit for that. So we're going to have a look at this. This is from a TV Zone magazine, special number 4. If you ever see it pop up on eBay and you haven't got it, buy it. This is a good schematic, a more detailed drawn out thing, and so this is by James Dillon. He goes into a little bit more detail. I'm going to bring it a little bit closer to the camera so you can see it all. But again, it's got industrial at the top, medieval, futuristic and Aztec, and more importantly this bit here, which was the Aztec River. If the contestants were starting in the Aztec zone, that is the river that they would set sail down. So it's just to the side. And there you go. Again, the dome obviously in the middle. Now then, we're going to move to the 2017 floor plans. And here we are. These are them. I'm going to try and zoom in. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'll try and zoom in for you a little bit. There we go. Let's make it a little bit easier. Now, as I said, both the Shepperton Studios and Aces High Aircraft Hangar were a lot bigger, a lot bigger than the new series. That was basically down to studio space. They couldn't find a decent sized studio space that was perfect for it. A lot of them were near heavy industrial buildings or work sites, motorways, or they had a flat roof so that when it rained you could really hear the rain, which would have been a bit awkward for production and filming. Now obviously the perfect place they did find was the Bottle Yard Studios down in Bristol. It was smaller, and there were, one of the other things they did look for was they didn't have supporting stands or supporting girders in the middle of the studio sets. Unfortunately, Bottle Yard did, but they managed to work around it, which is why all the zones are laid out in a different order. They're not interconnecting. It's purely because of the size and the girders. Now, it is known that one of these girders, I'm not going to tell you which one, you'll have to look at the show and guess. One of these girders from the industrial zone is actually the real one for the studio. And I can tell you as well, there was a girder around about here as well, near the water room, the water cell in Aztec. There was a girder there as well. So they're probably going, well, they're going to be around here, you know, around there somewhere, probably up here and there. So I don't know about them too, but definitely there. They are genuine. Now, obviously, I would visit to the set. We were there to test the games on part of the Crystal Maze fan blog. There were obviously a team of us went for series 2 and 3. I will say we did have to sign an NDA. That's a non-disclosure agreement. So we weren't allowed to tell you what went on, what exactly we did and everything like that. But obviously the show is no longer around, so I can reveal these set plans. They are around somewhere as well, so it's not as if I'm giving everything away. So let's have a look then. As I said, they were laid out in this region because of the space of the studio that they had. We had your industrial here. I'm not going to tell you too much details, obviously. I'm going to keep some private because I'm not allowed, you know. But yeah, industrial was there. We had a big space here to separate. Your medieval was up here, and obviously that was later taken down, and in Eastern was then put up, and then futuristic, and then obviously down the bottom Aztec. And this is the bit here down in the corner where the rainfall, what's it called, waterfall, don't go we can't sing because copyright. So yeah, waterfall was there. And then obviously, as you can see here, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. Again, I'll try and bring it a little bit closer. You can see there, that one there. This is the main entrance for futuristic, where they got beamed in and out. The main long corridor with the 2 side corridors. And then obviously when they enter this airlock, they stop filming, go to the back, and this is the actual cell at the back. It doesn't actually go there. All with the magic of editing. Excuse me. Now, there's something a little bit different about this, which not a lot of you know. Again, I'm going to let you into the secret of the maze. Now, I do have another blue plan, and this is a very special one because this has also got some of the game names on them, what the games were called. I'm going to look into that later. We're going to look at those later. That's the next video after this one. I'm going to go through series 1, 2, maybe 3, and the American series of the games. All the games that were played on the show, just the titles. There's a few websites and things out there that they give their own names for. These are the official game titles that we're going to be looking at. So anyway, what was looking at this one? Now we're going to go back to futuristic. Now you can see originally that there was going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was going to be 6 cells in the futuristic zone, but this is our little secret. Don't tell anybody. Room number 2, is that octagonal? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, octagonal room number 2 was done away with, and this was extended for room 1. That had the motion cap, the cockpit game, others in. But if you actually watch the show, you can still see that there are 2 doors there in the set. So they've not bothered to cover the door. but they have got rid of that cell just so we could have bigger games in that one. And more importantly, down here, as you can see here, this was going to be a sort of weird shaped room there right next to the door, and then they were going to have one here, a circular one at the back. But obviously, as I showed in the other updated new plan, they moved they kept the airlock there but had that big room there, and this one became elongated and made it bigger. So there you go, just some of the plans for the new and old Crystal Maze. So there you go, that's why they had to change it. That's why it's slightly smaller on set. I still think it's a fantastic set anyway. The detail in it, I mean, my favourite zone was always industrial, but when I went onto the set to test the games, the detail that's there, all the buttons and the sort of the materials they've used and everything, and all the smoke and water and nuts and bolts in it, it's absolutely amazing. I actually sort of really loved the industrial zone. I got a lot more respect for it because of the work that had gone into it. It's fabulous. And then obviously we went to Eastern as well for that third series. Okay, and then I'll say the plans for that is still the same for the American series, because he used the same studio set. Obviously, Adam Conover never got to go into Medieval because it was later than Eastern. But there you go. So as I say, we will be looking at those name games later, and I'll even be telling you some games that were never used. Yes, there were some games that were planned, but I don't think they were ever built, but they were all there, shortlisted, but never made it to the final show. So from myself, Phil Newton England, thank you again for watching this. That'll be my next video, name games. And for now, I'll see you all soon. I hope this has been interesting. If you've got any comments, concerns, anything, put them in the comments. I always try to reply to everybody. If I've missed you, I do apologise. So there you go. Until next time, goodbye.